So I didn't start recording until I already stained using gray stain one of the first parts of the dining table. Actually, both seats and the beginning. But first what I'm doing is staining with gray, and you want to let this sit and dry for 4 to 6 hours, because if you don't and you try to do another coat, what will happen is you'll end up with very chalky, oily, and you'll see little blotches on there from the grain of the stain coming up, because the stain does have these oils in it in texture. So you'll want to do your first coat, let it sit to 4 to 6 hours. I did a total of 3. That way I could completely cover the wood color underneath. Okay, so after you stained your wood, the next step would be whitewashing. This whitewashing was done the next day after everything dried. You'll want to grab some water and then your paint, and you'll apply it together and mix it. Depending on how light of a color you want is how much water you'll apply. Also, very important, have a rag handy, a dry rag handy that you don't mind getting messy. You're going to want to keep that in one hand and the brush in the other. You don't need a roller for this process because you're going to whitewash in the same direction of your rustic look. Also, once you rub in the paint with the rag immediately afterwards, it doesn't even matter about what direction you paint. So what I did was I applied small areas with my paintbrush, and then I took my dry towel, and you want to do it immediately after, so that way the paint doesn't dry, because paint tends to dry quickly, especially if you buy quality paint. And then I would just rub it in to give it a cloudy look, up and down, back and forth, the same direction as the rustic look that I applied. So you just kind of take that towel and you just rub the paint in until you get a lighter coat. So what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of filling in any areas that I feel were left out, and applying a little bit of paint on the towel itself and just rubbing it in there, just because I want to make sure everything is balanced. Also, don't forget the edges and the outer layers of your wood. It will look really funny if you totally leave those out. I took a photo, and here it is after completely whitewashing and letting it dry. You can see a little bit of a lighter tint. I know it looks glossed, but I have not glossed yet. Remember to gloss at the very end after you apply the rustic white.